Now let's talk about adding and subtracting complex numbers. We have two complex numbers here. They're separated by parentheses just to indicate each number. So negative 8 plus 3i is one complex number, and we are adding that to negative 1 minus 2i. When we do this, we're going to add their real parts together and add their imaginary parts together. So it's basically like combining like terms. So I'm going to take negative 8 and I'm going to add negative 1 to it. And when I add negative 8 plus a negative 1, I get negative 9. Continuing, I need to take a positive 3i and add a negative 2i to that. So a positive 3i minus a 2i is just going to give me a positive 1i, or I. Notice that I'm writing the real part first and then the imaginary part. This should be written in what's considered standard form that we talked about at the beginning. Real part first, our A, and then the imaginary part, the B times I. Let's look at number 4. Now, the very first thing that I notice is that I am not adding these, I'm subtracting these. So anytime we have a subtraction symbol on the outside of parentheses, that means that we need to distribute it to each term in the parentheses. So I'm going to do that first before I even think about doing my combining like terms. So I'm going to take this negative sign and distribute it to both of these so that I'm kind of getting rid of the subtraction right up front. So the first parentheses, nothing is changing with that, and in fact I can get rid of the parentheses if I want to, but if I take the second parentheses and multiply everything by a negative 1, then it's going to change the signs on everything. So negative 1 times negative 6 is going to be a positive 6. Negative 1 times a negative 6i is going to be a positive 6i. So now I can just combine my like terms, my real parts and my imaginary parts. I have a real part, negative 5, and another real part, positive 6. Those are going to combine to a 1. And then I have an imaginary part, a positive 9i, and another imaginary part, a positive 6i, that I can combine to get a positive 15i. So this is my real and my imaginary part, 1 plus 15i.